Hi everybody, this is Simply Wani, and today we are talking about what's going on with Nickelodeon and some of the people behind the scenes on some of our favorite old Nickelodeon shows. Now, when I was a kid, I used to love Nickelodeon. Before all that, before Kenan and Kel, iCarly, Sam and Cat, I used to love Nickelodeon. We This was even before Nicktoons. We had You Can Do That on Television, which was a Canadian sketch comedy show for kids, but it aired on Nickelodeon. I think that's the first place where the kids would get slimed. They would say a certain phrase or something. They would say, I didn't know, I don't know, and slime would fall on them. The same thing happened when they would say water, water would fall right on them. Some people think Double Dare is where the sliming started, but I remember You Can't Do That on Television being where the slime came from first. And I used to love watching Nickelodeon. I used to watch Nickelodeon a lot. The kids seemed like they were having fun. The adults were just there for the ride and everything. But when all that when all that came on, when all that came on Nickelodeon, it was a whole different ball game. It was just like the song say, it was something fresh out of the box, and I loved it. I loved Kenan and Kel sketches. I loved when Kenan would play Ishbu, the foreign exchange student that would never tell people where he lived at. I loved when Kel would play Coach Creedon, the coach that was always getting hurt when he would go on a date, or when he would, well, the kids would mess with him on purpose, but he would get hurt and banged up. I liked Ear Boy. I liked Miss Fingerly. I liked Ed, which spun off into the Good Burger movies. I liked all of that stuff. Plus Kenan and Kel. It's something about 90s Nick. I'm a 90s Nick kid. And something about 90s Nick that was so fresh and pure. I loved My Brother and Me. I loved watching Gullah Gullah Island. And those were some of the first, probably some of the only black shows that were on Nickelodeon, but I loved them all. But right now, Nickelodeon, some of the producers on some of these shows, some of the Schneider shows, well, all of the Schneider shows are under scrutiny because of some of the A word that's been going on. Some people were treated badly on some of the shows. Some of the people were, some of the people weren't treated as good as they should have been. Some other deeper things went down with a man named B. Peck. And, ooh, it's so much that's going on. So, and this stuff is going to be big. It's going to be they say it's a 4-part, but it's 2 night, airing on March 17th and again on March 18th. It's called Quiet on the Set. And it's going to talk about the truth behind what all went down. And Jeanette McCurdy, she wrote a book about it. She wrote a book about some of the things she went through. She wrote how the creator, y'all know who the creator is, she wrote a book about how he would encourage the kid. Well, he didn't really, yes, he did. He encouraged the kids to drink. He encouraged the kids to drink, to, I don't know everything that happened, but a lot of other people are going to be on it. I think Brian Hearn, he was on the later seasons of all that. He's from Hardball. His mom, she was a parent that was on the set all around, and the creator didn't like that. So Brian had to go. But I do remember Brian, he was the little boy who always wore the sweatband around his head. He wore it. He even wore it on Hardball, because I forgot which one came out first. And when I saw him, I was like, oh, that's the kid from all that. Or, oh, that's the kid from Hardball. That's him. And I think he was on season, I think he was on the later seasons of all that, when all that years 2000, 2001 to 2002 came out. He was on those seasons. But then he wasn't on those seasons. And that was because the creator fired him because his mother always wanted to be around the set, which a parent should do. They're young kids. Anything can happen. Your parents going to be there. But the creator didn't like that, so he was fired. It's going to be some talk, and also some talk with a mystery person. It's a part in the documentary trailer where the interviewer asks the mystery person, have you ever told your story before? You hear a long sigh. The room's completely dark, but something very specific that I saw in that room is dark. But if you look to the left-hand side and a little down, you can see a guitar. And I think that's a little clue, because to me, there's only one person that was on Nickelodeon that we've seen that plays guitar, that likes being in a band. I don't want to say his name, but I guess you guys can already assume and guess who I'm talking about. This is gonna, I am looking forward to this. This is gonna open up so many, it's gonna open up so much about what happened, what went down. Katrina Johnson is going to be in it. She's going to talk. Katrina Johnson was from season 1 and 2 of all that. She played the youngest cast member, Giovanni Samuels. Giovanni was in the early 2000s episode, well, seasons of all that. She was on with Brian Hearn. And then I saw again, she was in Freedom Riders. She played one of the cheerleaders in Bring It On, All or Nothing. I follow her a lot. She used to be on episodes of That's So Raven, Country Cousins, and she plays the little girl from Raven's Own Mother, I do believe. Kevin Sutherland. I think it's Kyle Sutherland. I'm sorry. He also played on the early 2000 seasons of all that. He played the redheaded boy with glasses. He was on that. I've seen him on Malcolm in the Middle. He could have played, I think he played in random movies, Cheaper by the Dozen. He could have been one of the friends on Cheaper by the Dozen. But yes, he was a child star, and now he's an adult star. And he's going to talk about a lot of the things that went down when he was on the show. I think he was mistreated on the show also, behind the scenes. Another thing I wanted to talk about is Kel Mitchell, his ex-wife. She went on a few years back. She went on a podcast, and she talked about her experiences while she was, I think she was an extra and all that too. She played one of the background characters. Like if you're watching a skit of Good Burger, or you're watching Super Dude crash through the supermarket, I think she was one of the background characters that was just sitting around while they were doing that. And she said sometimes she just had to stay inside Kel's dressing room because she didn't feel comfortable around these people, these adults. And they made fake IDs for these children, getting them into clubs when they weren't supposed to be in clubs. They made crude remarks to her about what she could do when she was pregnant. Could they do something to her while she was pregnant? It was real crazy, but this is going to be a deep special. It airs 2 nights. It's going to air, first it's going to air March 17th, and then then the second part is going to air March 18th, and it's going to be really deep, and I am going to be here for it. I hope this video helped a lot. I hope it gave a little bit of information, and I hope you guys have a really nice day. And right now, I'll be out. Goodbye.